Hi, this is Darno with Way Over Recipes, and this is my 30-day review of the Breville Smart Oven Air Fryer Pro. And I do have to mention, if you have not already seen the initial review, I highly recommend that you see that, because that's where I do the test cooks, that's where I do measurements, side-by-side comparisons. I do all types of different testing in other types of ways so that you know not only how to use it, but how it performs. But this is a 30-day follow-up review where I just talk to you about my thoughts, my impressions, and how I feel about it after using it for 30 days. So generally speaking, I have to say that it is a bigger, heavier, and larger air fryer oven than I expected. I've seen it on the market for many years and had not reviewed it because it had been around for a while, and so I figured, well, other things have probably superseded it. But I have to say now, in hindsight, that it has really been the standard that others were trying to achieve in their designs, more so than it kind of becoming obsolete with time. Now, I do want to say that even though the Breville Smart Oven Air Fryer Pro is an expensive air fryer oven by my standards and probably the standards of most of you watching this video, there are other countertop air fryer ovens that are far more expensive than the Breville, and I mean by far, such as the Smeg countertop combi oven with air fryer and steam. It also has steam too. That one costs about $1,300. You might be able to catch it on sale for $1,000. Okay, there are others beyond that one as well. It's not the only one, but those are things that are in a class that myself and most of you are not even considering. Now, I know that some of you are into that type of thing at that level, and you know, hey, if that's where you want to put your money, that's your money, and I'm not mad at you. And so I just want to say earlier on here in this review that yes, the Breville Smart Oven Air Fryer Pro is worth the money that it sells for when on sale. And I just say on sale because I feel like if you're going to buy something that costs more and it usually has sales, you may as well wait to the sale, because the sales always come. I mean, it happens every year. So I think that it is worth it. If you want to buy it outside of a sale window, I think that your circumstance and your needs at that time will determine whether it's something that you want to get outside of a sale. But just generally speaking, yes, I do feel after using it for some time now that it is worth its price. Now, as I said, it's a very heavy air fryer oven, and so it's the type of thing that you don't want to move around a lot. This is the type of thing, if you buy this, have a spot set for it and be determined to keep it in that spot for a very long time. I detail the weight and other specs in the initial review. It performed well in every function that I tried except one, but I'll detail that later, and it really wasn't a huge deal. Now, one interesting thing about this Breville is that when you open the door during a cook, the time will stop. Basically, time will pause for you. However, the fan will keep going. So the fan being, running while you're trying to get in there can be a little annoying. However, this Breville's fan is not a very hard fan. So even though it's blowing, it's not, I guess, blowing like you feel like you're getting a big burst of hot air on your hand or anything like that. It's not a very disturbing type of a fan when you go in there and you gotta move things if you feel you gotta move something during a cook. But it's stopping the time countdown is very nice. Now, also relating to that, I did find how to turn the rotate on and off. It does have a rotate feature that I didn't really detail in the initial review. Basically, as I show in the picture, if you press the function knob is also a button. If you press that on a function, then the rotate option shows, so that it'll basically give you a beep to rotate things. And that rotate comes in later in the cook. It doesn't come like at just the midway point. It comes later on. So there was real thought put into when to have the rotate option come up. And that rotate option, I found that it comes up if you set it for every function that I tried. I didn't try every function, but it seems like it's an option you can set for most any function. And so that's a real plus, to have that rotate option that you can invoke, or you can turn it off if you want, and that it comes in later in the cook. I had no smoke issues at all, and as far as the user interface, it was very easy to figure out. And that's very nice to have a user interface that's easy to get around in when this cooker has so many functions and options to choose from. And I do explain all the functions in the initial review with the exception of, as I said, the rotate thing. The extra wide width makes it very easy to get your wider pans in, and that's very nice, and I cover the full width and measurements in the initial review. The build quality is excellent. I don't find air fryer ovens or countertop ovens made with this type of build quality today, at the time of making this video. They just aren't made the same as this. And I think that, you know, thinking back across, I'm having a hard time thinking of one that had build quality like this. This, you know, is really the gold standard of build quality. And, you know, the weight really kind of plays into that because it's such a sturdy build. That's one of the reasons why it's so heavy. So, excellent build quality on this unit. And the noise level is quiet, it's not loud at all. I mean, it's not like totally silent, but still, it's nothing that is in any way annoying. It's nothing at all on par with like basket air fryers or anything like that. But there's more detail about the noise level in the initial review. And also details about how much heat comes off the exterior of it is in the initial review too. Cooks are generally even if you don't move things around, and I'll show some examples a little later. So now I'm going to talk about some functions that I use. And first I'm going to talk about the toast function. The toast function works well. In the initial review I used level 6 for my homemade bread, and so it came out a little light. But I did find that level 7 worked very well. I really liked basically toasting my bread in here on level 7. Another good thing about the toast function is that it adjusts if the oven is hot. Like if you just cook something and it's really hot, it will reduce the time down a bit to get the same result that you would get if you did a cold start where it needs to run a little longer. It calculates that automatically. That is a feature that I have not seen in many air fryer ovens, especially these days. So very nice that Breville has that, and it's another indicator that this was the model standard that a lot of manufacturers are still trying to reach. The only drawback with toast is that the timer doesn't stop if you open the door while toast is running, which is, you know, a very minuscule thing, and very few, I think, will stop when you open the door during a toast. I didn't use bagel or broil. The bake function does work very well though. And I want to show one example of a bake, in addition to the one that I did in the initial review. But I did some almond flour blueberry squares, and I have videos here on the channel of how I make that. But I cooked that at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, and it did a nice job, as you see in the photo. Wasn't moved around at all during the cook. The roast function also works very well. I'm going to show you an example of that. In there I roasted some hazelnuts at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 minutes. I never moved them, and everything was generally even cooked, and you can see that in the photo. Warm is excellent. I really like the warm function, and it doesn't overcook things or dry things out. If you just need to keep things warm for a while, warm is it. And if you start warm like very early on, like maybe 30 minutes before you're going to eat something that came out the fridge, you could probably even use, and sometimes I did use warm as reheat, just because it was going to be so much time before I was going to actually eat the food, until it was a gentle reheat, and that's very nice from the warm feature. I didn't use the pizza function or the proof function. The air fry function works great. I do have a video that just came out air frying some wings in it, and I was surprised that having the pan basically underneath the wings, things were still able to cook on both sides without turning those wings over. That was very nice. So definitely see that air fry wings cook if you haven't already seen that video. Now the reheat function I found to be a little weak. I had to increase the temperature 35 degrees to get the same outcome that I would get in reheat from most other air fryer ovens. And that was the only function out of all of them that I had that type of situation with. And basically just increasing it 35 degrees was able to resolve that for me. The cookies function works great. The slow cook function I didn't use. Dehydrate works well, and I'll show you an example of that. I had 2 cups of blueberries that I dehydrated at 150 degrees for 24 hours. Never moved them at all. And The outcome came out very well. You can see the photo of that. I didn't use the phase cook function at all though, but that's a pretty neat function that I detail in the initial review. Cleaning, everything was very easy to clean, so no problems there at all. I will show you inside how things look, and you see things look, very decent. And just to show you all the accessories, all those you have to use, the air fry rack, no problems there. The wire rack, all good there. The wire rack here, the second wire rack, the other wire rack's in there because you get two, no problems there. Bake pan, it's pretty decent after a good bit of use. I didn't use a pizza pan, so it's like new. Now I do want to say that the interior of the oven does have like some coating on the walls. I show that closer up in the initial review. But that coating, even though I'm not a fan of coatings and such, I'm not cooking my food on that, so it's okay. Although my preference would be not to have it. Now I'm going to talk about some comparisons, and I'm just going to talk about a few. If there's something that you have a particular interest in that I don't talk about in these comparisons, this channel has over 1,000 videos covering well over 120 different types of countertop appliances. So the best way is probably to go to the channel on like a laptop or something, go to the search function on this Wave Oven Recipes YouTube channel and search from there what you're looking for. You can also search on my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. So first I want to compare this Breville to the Gourmia French Door XL digital air fryer oven, and that was one from back in the day. And I have to say that the Breville has much more sturdy build quality. That was always and is always a thing with the Gourmias. The Gourmias are not built the same as this Breville. So having this as a much sturdier build and a large air fryer oven, I do prefer that in this Breville. And so also comparing this Breville to the Gourmia 9-slice air fryer oven, the Gourmia likewise has a less sturdy build. Also, this Breville being wider, I like that it's wider than the Gourmia 9-slice. And the Gourmia 9-slice also, for most of the cook functions, pound per pound against this Breville is a little weaker. So the Breville basically wins for me over that. Now this Breville versus the Ninja Prestige air fryer oven, the Ninja Prestige basically failed on me sometime after the warranty expired. I do know there are plenty of people using this Breville French Door Air Fryer Oven Pro for many years, and they haven't had problems with it. So I have to say, the best ability is availability. And so the Breville, it's very good. I mean, even if the Ninja Prestige had never broken, the Breville is still basically able to keep up with the Ninja Prestige. So, whichever way you want to go, I'll say, since the Ninja broke on me, I have to go with the Breville. I think it has a much longer track record of people using it without it failing. And speaking of failing, I did mention in the initial review how it has a chip that can remember things. If you send it in, they'll be able to read that chip to see how you used it. But that's something that I guess a bridge you can cross if you want to. Now I want to talk about this Breville Smart Air Fryer Oven Pro versus the Ninja Crispi Pro, which has been my champ here on the channel. And I have to say that I've always been more partial to ovens. I like that the Breville is able to cook larger things and I can do more with it. The Ninja Crispi Pro does have a more healthful design. However, I'm preferring the Breville because I can do more with it, and I really do like it. And so I am making the Breville my champ now. The Ninja Crispi Pro was a champ because I was so wowed by Ninja basically improving it over the Ninja Crispi Portable, and I talk about that in the Ninja Crispi Pro reviews. But I have to say that the Breville is a much nicer cooker that can do more things, and so I'm sticking with the Breville as my champ, and I honestly have to say I'm not sure if it's going to be beaten by something else for some time. Now I do want to say that nothing in this video is sponsored. I hope that you did enjoy it though, and there's lots of ways to help the channel. If you use the shop icon, if you are interested in buying this, the shop icon will take you to a retailer that will sell this to you at their regular price, but you buying it through the shop icon helps this channel. Also, in the video description, there are links to several retailers that that you can use if you choose to buy through them, and that also helps the channel using those referral links. Also, there are other ways to help the channel, such as my cookbook, merch, membership, donations, and you can donate either through Super Thanks. There's also Buy Me a Coffee. Also on my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com, you can do Buy Me a Coffee, you can do that too. And as far as other ways to help if you don't have any money to help at all, you who watch the ads have helped directly through that way, and I do thank you for, going through the ads, because that helps the channel. Also, if you would like, there's the hype button. You can use the hype button to help promote this to more people by just clicking it. And you can click the hype button up to 3 times, that's all you do, and it helps the channel to, get more exposure in this video to get out to more people. Also, you can give this video a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.